Welcome to Sage Sisters. We are sisters, besties, moms, and co-founders having a fun catch-up on parenting and life. Hey, I'm Ann.
And I'm Kate. Welcome to Sage Sisters. We're excited to be podding today. Ann, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. We have a fantasy draft going on tonight for a group that I have been friends with for like 20 plus years. Is it 20 plus years? Golly. It sounds old, but a group that's been doing this for a very long time. It's super fun. And we have our fantasy draft tonight. And this is one that Phil's also in it. We're just on two different teams.
Okay.
So it's fun because it's bonding. Another one of our buddies is coming over to fantasy draft, and we are going back to nostalgic things. So we're going to make some margaritas and I think do Taco Bell because that was like the thing we used to do when we were drinking buddies way back when. So,
I love me some Taco Bell, so I'm all in on that.
I know. So I'm looking forward to it because it'll be a fun night of, just a little something to break up the week.
And it gives fall. It gives footballs back.
Yes.
And, I'm not doing fantasy this year in a way that I'm grateful for. In the past few years, I've done it with
it.
I know I've done it forever, but I needed to let something go.
Yeah.
In my year of do less.
Yeah.
And I will say that group was fizzling.
Mm-hmm.
There was less engagement. It was like a few texts here and there, but it didn't have.
If it's not bringing you
energy.
joy and it's not worth it, yeah, you got to go.
Totally. So this year I let it go.
Okay.
But I still enjoy the season and I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited for fall. We got kids back in school. We got football starting. We got Taco Bell happening.
I got a sweatshirt on, a light sweatshirt for the first time in what feels like eternity.
And are you pitting in it or is it actually the right weather for that?
Pretty good weather. I think this morning was ideal. You needed it. As it starts to warm up, could use it less, but it is still not straight pit sweats. It's enjoyable.
We're still hitting the 80s out here in California. It might be a little hot for a sweatshirt.
Yeah, we're like 70s, but like 58 this morning. 58 this morning gets into 70s. Delightful. Perfect rucking weather now that I'm all in.
You get a ruck in today?
Is that
right? Is that how you use that term?
I've been using it because you told me that was the term. So
I know it's called rucking, but it's like when we talk about it, like, do you ruck?
Yeah, I kind of like it. Let's make it a thing. I'm sure it is a thing. Yes, not today. I got a ruck in yesterday. I'd like to ruck again this afternoon.
It's a little too close to FUCK.
I like
real
that.
Good.
That's why I like
that. Yeah. It's got, that's the energy that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Around midlife walking with vests.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, glad to hear spirits are high.
Yeah.
Let's roll into it. What is your high?
I have the cutest high, and I wish I had like some type of a visual for you, a video or something. I do not. It lives in my brain. But this morning I was working from a coffee shop, which I love a good coffee. I love a good iced coffee. And there was an 87-year-old birthday party going on.
Oh my goodness.
And the woman was dressed with like a headpiece. They put like almost like a crown on her, and she had a very pretty floral dress. And they turned music up. They had like cake they were giving out to everybody in the coffee shop. And she turned music up, and she was going around pulling different men who were sitting there by themselves working. It was hysterical. It would be like somebody just sitting there. Didn't matter the age, didn't matter who it was. And she'd pull them up and dance with them. Kind of like a little like slow dance, but like, like jig. Like it was so cute. And it just got everybody smiling. Everybody was laughing. This woman was
at
the
her
cutest.
Parties. Was it like just her girlfriends?
No, it was a mix of men and women all around her age. And there were probably 12 of them. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And just like the dancing and energy in the whole coffee shop was amazing.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it did make it a little hard to do a phone call from there, but that's either here nor there. I was like, I'll see my way out because this is the cutest thing and I can't interrupt it.
Yeah.
So
also, why do I want a birthday party brunch?
I think it's perfect. I mean, it's exactly the vibe. I'll take it from 40 to 87 every time. If that's my birthday, I think it works.
This is a slight aside, but related to the topic, which I'll tease. Okay. Which is Jane Fonda has this great podcast where she interviews older women. And it's like, basically like, as a society, are we not listening to these amazing women with great ideas, great life experience? So I'm kind of on this. I've been listening to it and enjoying it. And I want to say does Julia Louis-Dreyfus have a similar vibe on her podcast? Anyways, a theme around listening to older women, and I'm loving this for that party. And anyways, the content we're loving is sort of the topic today, partially because I felt like I got a little too intense over kids sports last week, and I need to remind people I'm a lovable human. And
nah, never too intense. Well, I love this topic because I love content. And I do think there's some new things that I've been listening to, watching, the whole thing. So this is kind of a fun topic. And in my opinion, Jane Fonda can do no wrong. From way back when with her exercise videos to almost every movie or TV show she puts out, it's gold to me. I just love her so much. And if I could be her when I'm that old, how amazing. She looks great. She seems like she's just got life. Like it's.
Well, I totally fell in love with her with that Grace and Frankie show. Well,
by the way, it's on my list today. We might as well blow that one, which is like an oldie but a goodie. Like going back to watch it, it's still so good. Grace and Frankie, a must watch for feel good.
Well, my daughter's name is Grace, and she has a really good friend named Frankie, and it's really giving me life.
That's so cute.
Frank and Frankie Part 2.
I love it.
Coming right up. But yeah, anyways, okay. So
what's your high?
Adorable high.
Mine was so cute.
Mine is just like kind of like a one that hits the heart, which is my son has had a great transition back into first grade.
Love.
And I just like the other day had like a lump in my throat and a tear in my eye because thinking back a year ago, his entry into kindergarten was fraught with a lot of anxiety. And there was a lot of navigating and this and that. And yesterday, he was very tired. And sometimes like before that was such a trigger when he was too tired and then he would feel anxious and like it was a whole thing. And I watched him yesterday wake up very tired and pull it together and still get to school on time. And like we were able to get over the hump.
Yeah. How nice.
Which I know sounds subtle. But if you realize kind of what we were working through for a long time.
You've mentioned this on the pod. So if you are a longtime listener of the pod, I think they know exactly what you're saying, which is so nice. It's like.
And just to see him kind of, I feel like blossom. And he even had a show and tell that he did not get anxious about. And he brought some stuff in and shared. And afterwards I was like nervous I was going to get a call and no issues.
Listen, it goes along with the theory that kids go through seasons. Some are good, some are bad. And, you can identify actually major issues during times of these seasons. But it really is nice to look back and know that there was something that potentially you've moved through that, what a relief. What a nice moment. And I love that for you.
And I don't know if it was age, if it was going to happen anyways. We did go to therapy with him to give him some new skills, if that helped. I'm
sure all of the above, honestly.
Probably all of the above. But anyways, I was just the other day like, how amazing is it when he's able to kind of overcome more than even just like, oh, it's going well so far. We haven't hit any hurdles. It's like we hit a hurdle and he made it through it. Yes. I felt so grateful.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. It's cool when your kids are doing good.
Good job, Cowman.
Anyways, what's your low?
What's funny is we don't talk about our high lows before this. Sometimes we'll talk about like the topic itself and like just kind of spitball. But we're just on the same wavelength. My low is actually kind of what you alluded to, what you made it through. Kid emotions when they're tired. We're now week 3, week 4 into school. And we're still in the very high emotions because they're exhausted. And it's creating bedtime issues. It's creating just like the second they get home, they're irritated. And I'm trying to work through that because I don't want it to like create a whole negative vibe for the whole night. And I understand. I mean, they're asked to sit there for so long and it's changed from what they were just doing. And at the ages they are, it's very hard to adjust to that difference. And it seems like they're all doing really well in the actual classroom. You know what I mean? Like the first grade teacher at open house was kind of joking that some of the kids' eyes are like at the end of the day starting to blink heavy, like they're almost falling asleep. But it does sound like the actual schooling is going well. But when they're home, they're crazy and it's exhausting.
And how does it present in your house, like when they are tired?
It's just
they won't rest. They won't like watch a show or anything. Or?
I try. We can watch a little show sometimes, but it's just the irritation. Everything. I'm starving. This is awful. I want to watch this versus that. Like nothing is easy in those moments, and so we're really trying to do a little downtime of like, okay, if you need a moment, let's just relax. Let's not go straight into reading or let's take a moment. I'll even have snacks like ready, but it's like. If a full dinner is not presented at 4 p.m., they're angry. If a full, it's just like unrealistic things.
Yeah.
And
no, I know they're exhausted.
We'll just get through it. But we've been trying to push bedtime, earlier, but then they're still up there wiggling. It's just like, I just don't know how to actually get them to get more sleep.
Yeah, it's just the routine shift is tricky when you're young. Mm-hmm. It's just tricky.
So I'm navigating that. It feels like this week hit is like the big explosion, and I hope that this is the week that they kind of get used to it, and so next week's easier. But this week I've been like preparing myself when they come home.
Well, like I said, Cal was tired. I've been trying to move our bedtime up because I'm noticing, seemingly they were going to bed at 8:30 and waking up tired.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, we got to go to bed at 7:30 or at least start asleep by 8. And I want them to read and like do a whole thing. So we've like moved up dinner a pinch to like give us plenty of time to like do the whole bedtime routine and still like be asleep by 8.
That's what we've been doing.
Trying. But sometimes, you know how it is. It's like sometimes it ain't happening.
Last night we really had Ace had practice, but Lola did not. So we were able to kind of get her to go to bed earlier because she was really struggling.
Is he doing, what times are his practices? Late?
No, not bad. 6 to 7. So, we try to eat dinner beforehand so he can have a little snack after, but it's like, then we get home, then he's in the shower, then he's straight to bed. But the girls can stay home and sleep,
When I work out at night, I have a hard time going to sleep after.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same for him, but like if I play tennis on a night game, because I'm up, like my body's just up. It's like I didn't have that like spiraling down going into bed. But anyways, our practices though are like weirdly early. It's like 4 to 5. It's like we got to work, people. It's like there's no winning.
Yeah, it is true. It's like there's not a great time, but I talked to a parent early, I agree. I talked to a parent that started at 6:45 and they don't end until 8:30. I'm like, God, at this age, that's insane.
See, don't get me started. I know. Don't get me started.
Relax.
This is
your shoulders went up. Relax.
I know. I gotta get my Theragun out.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going in. We're going into your low. Keep your shoulders up for one more second. Okay. What's your low?
Have you started any of the braces for your kids, the orthodontics?
No, because you told me, I forget what it is, but they have to lose a certain percentage of kid teeth and get their adult teeth before. Right. We don't. We're slow teeth losers, I guess.
That sounded weird, but there's something that we're doing with our kids called orthotropics. I had never heard of this before, but it basically is a newer thing to fix any structural breathing issues with braces and retainers and expanders and all the things so that my children will not end up with this
I was going to say, I wish we had it at our age because our profile could have used it.
I agree. And in addition to the aesthetics of it, I think some of my sleep issue is sleep apnea, breathing issues. I know that, my kids have some of that. So we're trying to fix it young, which is great. Wish we had it. And like, if your jaw sets at 12, it's too late, apparently. So it's like, you got to kind of do all this stuff before the jaw matures. And then the only way to fix it, like for me, is like if I broke my face and like had this massive surgery.
Right.
Anyways, we're doing the orthotropics. It makes sense for my kids. It's like good parenting and like we're going to get their breathing good for the lifetime. But man, it's painful to go through.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to take them. Well, I was talking about myself, not my kids.
No.
I take them every 3 weeks, or Chris or I do. So the logistics of going every 3 weeks, it is very expensive.
I was going to say, like your wallet's hurting. I know that to be true.
Well,
and you've confirmed, just like playing devil's advocate, that I do think that we have specific breathing issues that run in our family. So that's a difference. Sometimes I feel like they're pushing orthodontics early for money purposes.
Well,
So I kind of am like a little bit skeptical, but with the breathing, I understand it. So go on.
Well, you can put your little aluminum tin hat on over there. I know you're always looking for a conspiracy, but
when your shoulders go up, my tin hat foil goes on.
It's like the only things in life. What is that quote? It's like death, taxes, and I feel like now it's like orthodontics for every single kid. It's like the third thing that's like, this is the guarantee that they will recommend.
Every time I see an adult tooth coming through their gums, I'm like, where is it straight? What's it look like? What's it look like? I'm like, insanely weird about it because I'm like, could we hold off on braces for a little bit? What's this look like? Or how severe of braces do they need is more it. Like, I'm sure they'll have them, but how severe?
Yeah, totally.
You know, Phil, my husband, never had braces. And his teeth were relatively good. And in adulthood, he got Invisalign for a little bit to try to fix some things.
Okay.
It was basically just the bottom part. I mean, pretty good overall. So maybe.
Well, maybe you got good genetics and you can do a house project instead of
my gosh, what a dream.
Metal for your kids.
What a dream.
But in addition to my pain, very secondarily is my kids' pain.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. They like are kind of miserable.
Yeah.
And for 48 hours after every 3-week appointment, they're uncomfortable. So then I'm doing the Tylenol, Advil on repeat, the grumpiness associated with it. It's like, I feel bad. It's like, and is there anything worse than like tooth pain, mouth pain?
No,
I
was just thinking that. I had a tooth issue not that long ago where I had a filling and then I bit my tongue, just like bit my tongue the other day. And it hurt. And I was a crab. Because I was like, it really stinks.
Yeah.
Because everything you do, talk, breathe is associated, it's like your mouth hurts, like it stinks.
Well, Grace was cute. She like got braces and then they put these more retainers in as they're starting to do this stuff. And she goes, oh God, I have a lisp again. I thought I was past this. I was like, you can't really tell. She's like, oh really? Like lisping all over the place. I was like, at least she's a self-aware and like
self-aware and goofing about herself a little bit.
I was like, listen, trust me, you'd rather get this out of the way at 9
totally
being 15, 16.
Totally.
Which is, I feel like in our generation when we got braces was more like high school.
I think it was like 7th grade,
late middle school,
because remember the awkwardness of 7th and 8th grade. And I just specifically remember being 13 and looking pretty rough and mom being like forgetting that she had a younger daughter and was like, listen, we all go through it around 13. Everyone looks awkward. And I'm sitting over there like, what? Me?
I see these 13-year-olds now. Though,
gorgeous.
And gorgeous. It's like their teeth are already fixed.
100%.
And, I'm not going to go off on another spiral about like Sephora girls, but I will say it's like they're figuring out how to not be like an awkward 13-year-old.
There's nothing that brings me more humor than the like what kids are doing now versus what we were doing at our age videos. And it's like totally like I couldn't have been more awkward. And
there's been some funny
swans are walking around.
I know. Have you seen the like sorority rush
versions
the
of videos?
That?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are so funny because some of those videos are getting out of hand with the
They're so out of hand. They're so unhinged.
But I can't stop watching them. What's wrong with me? It's like,
well, I love when someone has an old video of their rush video and it was like, like awful.
Yeah. And then it's like these hot girls and the new that are like so perfect with their movements.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, too good. Okay.
So orthotropics, pain and money and time.
Yeah. Low.
The trifecta.
Oof.
Low.
Brutal.
All right.
Move on to what's on our mind. And it's your week. So what is on your mind?
I read an article that resonated. I wanted to see if it resonated with you too.
Okay.
It was an Atlantic article about how millennial parents have a new anxiety wanting to travel, do these big trips with their kids. And the article talked a lot about like international trips and millennials, like as a species, we love international travel and like just like are willing to spend a lot of money on it. And now that we have young kids, like a lot of millennials want to do that kind of travel with their kids and introduce them to all the cultures and educate them about the world. And, that's like a tightly held value. And I think there's obviously the luxury side and the budget version of that. But like both of them, they're just saying like they want to do that, but it's actually like totally exhausting. And
that's what they're putting their money towards too. You know what's funny is I just want to clarify. Are you doing this because you're still trying to push the Paris trip with Chris? Like, are you trying to do this so he listens to it and all of a sudden he's on your side to go to Paris with your kids?
Well, if anything, I think this article hurts me.
Yeah,
it was basically saying how millennial parents have this value. They want to do it, but the reality of the trips are kind of hellacious.
Well, honestly, it doesn't sound good. We just joked 2 weeks ago about the fact that, like, would I rather, sit on a beach or do an international trip? And the reality is both are going to be hard. But when you factor in like long flights, not a lot of downtime, smaller hotel rooms. So if you have a family, you're not sleeping as well, or you're all crunched in, all the things, expense.
No AC,
don't get me started with the cost of it.
Yeah.
Cute little cafes where you're sipping a little, tea and drinking or eating a crumpet. Like, that's not cute when you have somebody screaming in your ear and you're trying to be quiet around all the other, people who are acting better.
I had a question about it, which was, in my circle, and like, I went to business school, and a lot of my friends are at a stage of life where they have a decent chunk of change. And I'm seeing this all over my own Insta, where my friends are taking their families on these big trips. But my high school girlfriends don't do this. I kind of wondered if this is like a little bit like,
it feels,
is this a value that all millennial parents are doing and they're finding ways to travel international or not?
I don't see it necessarily with a lot of my friends. I think it's a certain type of millennial. I do think private school plays a part into
millennial,
it.
A coastal
private school millennial who has a little bit more means to do it too. To me, that's what it sounds like. And that person who wrote it is probably in that category. I don't know. I didn't see the author, but like, to me, that's what it sounds like.
I don't know. I hear that. And I was like thinking about this, and like, even for myself, thinking about how to do trips and how important it is relative to other things we could spend our money on. I think I'm kind of right and noodling on it, which felt like why it's on my mind.
Well, it's a good topic, and I went back and forth twice during that conversation.
So we settled on nothing.
We settled on make your own decisions.
I'm trying to decide if it's worth prioritizing over the other things that, I'd love to spend money on, house projects. Or
I think, though, house projects feel to me like, if it's not a major, like, you need an HVAC update or, like things like that, no one cares but you. So if you're taking a trip to make a better experience for your family, that's more important than painting your house. But, if you could do a smaller trip and paint your house, maybe there's happy medium there. I don't know. I think the house project, the comparison is not great because everybody will tell you to take the trip.
Well, and like the trip, we've had great trips that are local. My husband does not like to leave the home. He would be a hermit without me, honestly. He's so lucky he has me. I'm the one always pushing for something, but I think he tempers me, and I'm like trying to push for a Japan trip, and he's trying to go, let's go to Bodega Bay.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of time together. In fact, more time, because we don't have to travel.
Yeah.
And I will say we've had wonderful local trips where I feel like the time element of the trip is still there. We get the time and we enjoy the memory, and like,
kids don't really care what you're doing. They want to just do something with you. And if you make it structured for them.
Well, the other day I said, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would you go? And my kids were like, Tahoe, Bodega Bay. It's like the places we've tripped.
Yeah.
That's all they know.
Yeah.
And that was good memories for them.
I think it's great.
And I was thinking,
I think just family time in general, no matter how you get it, is worth it. That's it.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's roll.
So, let's roll. Sorry, I'm belaboring it.
But
I could talk.
Just kidding.
You and I could talk for too long. This is the problem with this pod, or all podcasts. It's just people that can just yap endlessly.
Totally.
Okay. I thought we could just catch up because honestly, I just finished some shows and wanted to talk about them.
I love a new show too, or just new content. This is where I thrive. So let's go.
Okay.
So content that we're loving.
Well, I gotta start with. I finally finished Traitors episode.
But what's funny is this is in the past. It's not even current. I love you for
Nothing
that.
I do is current. I realized that song that was my obsession was from 2018.
Stop it. 2018. You're like, it's no longer an obsession. You're just bringing it back. It's an obsession that you brought back.
Yeah. I just had to laugh when I learned that. It's like, talk about not on the cutting edge of music. It's a 2018 song. That's my obsession.
Oh,
Traitors.
Still good.
Season 3. I just finished it. My family we watched it together. I will say season 3 had a lot more cursing than the previous seasons. Like there was definitely, I was like, dang it. Like this is becoming a little less family. My kids learned some choice words.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't watch it with my kids in the moment. So like I didn't remember that, but I liked season 3 the most. If you asked me,
it was fun, but just a couple of the people on there cursed every single time. Okay. F this, F that.
Yeah, that's tough.
And my kids learned a few words that I wish they didn't know.
Yeah, you had to have a deep conversation after that. Well, I think it's a great show though. Overall, I'm obsessed with it. I'm so glad you finally watched it, and maybe ill-advised to have told you could watch that last season with your kids. But I just think it's those fun game showy type of shows is just, it hits the spot when you need some filler TV.
Totally. So it was very fun.
Yeah.
I was excited. I thought it ended in a fun way. It wasn't exactly how I expected it, which was fun all the way to the end. So anyways, that was great. What, you got any ones that you've just finished or watching?
So Phil and I are on a mission, if you will.
Don't say Mission Impossible.
Yes, to watch. Yes, exactly. To watch Mission Impossible.
Denied.
Just hit me. It just came to me. I didn't even plan that. Brilliant. So we watched the last 2, which was the final. I forget what it's called. The something
Reckoning.
Oh yes, thank you. The Reckoning, and then the final Reckoning.
Okay.
So good. And so we rewatched the one that was in 2023. Then the new one released.
Was that the one with the train scene, the epic train scene?
Yes. Okay. And then the new one just came out this year. And you know, it's just the right recipe. We talk about it. Like Tom Cruise is so perfect in that role. Couldn't love him more. In fact, Phil was like, "Can I
stream it, or do I have to go to the movie?"
No, you can stream it for a bargain price of $20 on Amazon. Okay. But you know, it was so fun. And we put the kids to bed, kind of like poured a highball, date night. And when you have good like we just both love that type of show too. So it was fun.
I can't wait to do that. It'll be fun. And I better make sure that Chris knows he's not allowed to cheat on me and watch it early.
He might have already. So you got to ask him, because it's been out for a couple months. We just have now been getting around to it.
Okay.
But I will say it was fun. You know, some of the plot, you know, all the things, who cares? I just loved it. And now we want to go back and watch all the Mission Impossibles again. Because it just brings it back, because they did a lot of flashbacks to all of them. And so it's an enjoyable date night. And, you know, any show you can go back to like that is so fun. Rewatch to get the new one. Loved it.
I love it. Now, are you watching Bachelor in Paradise? Because I'm caught up.
I dropped it.
It's not over yet. You dropped it?
I dropped it. I dropped it like 3 weeks ago, and I haven't had time to catch up. And I didn't care enough, I guess.
You're not.
I watched a little bit, and then a lot of the older people, I told you, the Golden Bachelors that are on there, were starting to get kicked off, and I started to lose interest. Where are you at with it now that you're caught up?
Well, you know, they did some twists and turns this year where, you know, they basically have money on the line for the first time, and they're not sort of pushing for the engagement. In fact, on last night's episode, Hannah Brown's on there, and she started saying, like, is anyone thinking about engagement? And all of them were like, no. Yeah. And I was kind of like, a little bit, that's refreshing, because no one wants to get engaged after 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. It's like even shorter than The Bachelorette.
Right.
Like, I think they're still like, we're season in and they're on day 20 or something.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that aspect of it. But
I agree.
They put this money out there to make it like a little more game showy. And I can't tell if it helped or hurt it. Like, it's a very different show than it was in the past, to be honest with you, because it's almost less about the relationships and more like they're voting people off on strategy now.
Well, and I'm trying to process it, because I dropped because, yes, there was like a drama between Jeremy and 2 girls, and it was a little like,
he is
Bailey,
utterly unlikable.
Oh yeah, and like he was kind of like, they brought up the fact that he really loved Susie, but he kept Bailey around, and the whole money on the line made me be like, well, Bailey may be actually trying to like Jeremy, and Jeremy's here for the money. And it was a little, I don't know, there was something I didn't love about that, because I was like, I don't feel like their relationship's real, but do I think they should stay together to win the money? Sure. It was a little like, I couldn't decide if I liked it, because I didn't care about their relationship. I was like, this isn't real.
Well, and then the vibe of it is like, oh, we're only going to keep couples that are here for real, like with romantic relationships. So it's like, it's got this weird vibe of like, if you say you're there for the money, you know, you can't be honest that you're there for the money. You have to act like you're there for the relationship.
Yeah, I know. I think they need to tweak some things, but I don't mind where they're going because the original was a little like, do I really believe?
Yeah, we don't want them to get engaged either.
I agree. I don't need it to be all about love and engagement. It didn't seem real ever. But something is not quite right about the way they're doing the money.
I agree. I can't kind of put my finger on it, but it's like we need to keep workshopping the format a little bit. I liked the Goldens in there.
I did too.
Unfortunately, yeah, they like the way that they voted out. It was just like they all went away.
I know, and I guess maybe that's part of the reason I didn't love it. It was like they all ganged up against them, and I wanted to see them on.
There wasn't any real love connections. It didn't feel like at the Golden level. And I don't know if it's like, you know, you put a bunch of Goldens on. They're
realistic. It's like, you know, Kathy is still great TV. She's my favorite. Like, yeah. And she was on there the longest, and I enjoyed every bit of her on the TV screen.
Mm-hmm. She's a hoot.
She's great. And she had some kind of quote with the guy she was connected to, which was like Keith. He's like, you know, we're just the same, except I have more hair or something. Like, she's just funny. Like, everything about her was just great. So keep tweaking it. Keep tweaking it. That's what I'll say.
Keep tweaking.
Yeah. Okay.
Soundbite.
I am also watching. Well, I watched 2 other things, and then we can move on away from shows, I guess. I don't know what else you have. But I started to watch because I was absolutely bored with no content. Perfect Match on Netflix. Have you seen this with Nick?
Is this the dating show, but they're a little bit older?
No. Probably should have gotten into that. That might be sweeter. This is like popular people on Netflix shows, and they did pull a couple bachelorette people into it this time.
Okay.
Like the most eligible dating in the younger age from all of these crazy shows on Netflix, like Too Hot to Handle and stuff that I don't watch really. Mm-hmm. They pull them in and they put them in a house, and it's like, find a connection, you know, find your perfect match. And at the end they vote on the couple that's the most perfect match. And then they win, you know, a vacation or something. It's kind of bad. But I watched the whole thing. It was 10 episodes, kind of a quick hit. Nick Lachey is the host.
What? He already has a dating show.
Yep, this is the second one, and it just was. It was a little trashy, but quick hitter, enjoyable if you need something like that. I'm like almost afraid to put my name behind this one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that wasn't a good sales pitch, but the next one I'm going to watch is coming from our cousin who sent us a text called Later Daters.
Yeah,
it seems like kind of a Golden Bachelor in Paradise theme, but it's like I'm craving a little sincerity after watching people do it for the money or do it for the fame or the influential,
I agree,
social media following. It's like I want something sincere, so I'm going to try that. I think that's why I loved Love on the Spectrum so much too. It's like the most sweet, sincere thing.
Yeah, Rachel, our cousin, is the one who said it, and she just thinks like I do with TV. You know, she has a lot of the same interest and good perspective on why we like it. So we always have a good time kind of texting about it. But I take her recommendations very highly.
Okay. I'm excited to check it out, Rachel. I'll let you know. That's next up for me.
Well, and the last thing I watched, did you see the docuseries on Netflix called Fit for TV?
No.
This is basically a documentary on The Biggest Loser, the TV show that was so big back in the day. And the whole
Bob H was a contestant on Trader season 3.
Exactly.
So he's relevant again for me.
So Bob Harper was on it. And there's a little controversy because they interviewed a lot of the people who used to be on the show or the host. And they didn't include Julianne. What's her name? Julianne.
The trainer, though.
Yes. And so she actually is very upset and is trying to sue people because part of it was saying like how she used drugs and different things.
Julianne Michaels.
Thank you. Julianne Michaels. Yeah. And so she's suing because it kind of made the narrative that she gave like caffeine pills and different drugs to kind of push the issue. And she was kind of coming back to say like, well, we all did that. It was just like, you know, like I have texts that say like all of you guys did that. And it was like this narrative that I'm the only one. But it did I remember loving The Biggest Loser back in the day.
It had a moment in the sun.
It had a moment. And now everyone's like, oh my gosh, what a horrible like narrative. Like they're basically like making people take their shirts off uncomfortably and like screaming in their face to lose weight.
It didn't age well. It didn't age well.
And then like a lot of the contestants are now back up to the size they were or more. Like that was part of the documentary, and like how it was just not sustainable to lose it that quickly and then keep it off. Anyways, it was I found it very interesting to watch because I remember watching The Biggest Loser and actually liking it back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was like, oof, okay, yeah. I found it. It's a good documentary to watch if you did watch The Biggest Loser.
Well, it is an interesting commentary on like where we've come as a culture around the issue of weight.
Mhm.
Like now, none of that sits well.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, people screaming at you to get skinny fast.
Yeah.
And like you have no willpower. It's like, I don't know. It's a little uncomfy.
It really didn't age well. And then, you know, Bob Harper had a heart attack and he's, you know, he worked through it, but there was all these just like things that came after that just made it, ooh. So
I know.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, and with the rise of Ozempic and all of the weight loss drugs, it's like, it feels like.
Well, it just wouldn't work. It's like, I'll take a shot and sit on my couch.
It's a very different show now.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you have any other shows or shall we move on to another category?
No, that's all my shows. I'm open to recommendations though from our listeners. I sometimes get great recs. So if anybody has a show they're loving that you think Ann and I need to watch, let us know and we'll give you a shout out next time.
Yep.
Of course, I'm moving into books. That's where I got to go.
Okay. What do you got?
Only one book.
Okay.
I read a book called The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. It is a romantasy. So it's not like some serious one. If you guys read Fourth Wing, excuse me, which I raved about.
It's like a cult following for that book.
Cult following, big time production movie coming out next year, I think. Anyways, this is kind of the same vein.
Okay.
I won't get into it because it's any romantasy. If you try to say the plot sounds truly bananas. This one's no different. It's about, though, a prophetess and her people keep disappearing. So it's got like a little bit of mystery to it. And it's not as, honestly, there's a love story part of it, but it's more just like a really interesting story, I think. Okay. And it was totally escapist. Yeah. You know, right now where it's like we're a little stressed with everything. It's like, give me a book that takes me completely out of reality. Yeah. Thank you. That's the appeal.
Okay. I like it. I mean, here's what I'll say is I recently found a new app that I haven't used yet, but I've been interested. And I believe it's called Speechify. Have you heard this?
Yes.
Where you can.
Well, did you send it to me?
Maybe. Yes. I got Instagram ad pop up and I was like, well, this is intriguing. And basically the whole ad was a woman like with a book and she was like trying to walk on the treadmill and read. And the guy came up and placed her phone on the book and like scanned it, I guess, or whatever. And then the app started to do the audio version of it. So it's basically like getting an audio book. You can just go and get that version in audio. So I don't know quite the difference for that. Well, but I was intrigued.
Audiobooks, I've decided, because the audio are actually like really skilled people with like voice actors is always better than the AI version.
So you think I should just get the audiobook instead of using the Speechify app?
Well, Speechify can make any physical text. It can like read it and turn it into an AI voice. So if you had a lot of like physical printouts of stuff, like, or files, or even, you know, it could read emails. It could like audio emails to you. I can definitely see the use case. And I can like think of times where that would be handy. But for the most part, it's like, I actually don't want to listen to my emails. Like audio version of it for the way that I work. I don't want that, I don't think.
Well, I want that for books. So I guess I just have to download the audio version. As I said it out loud, I thought I just download the audio.
You just do Audible.
Okay, brilliant.
Audible is amazing. Also, if you do Amazon Prime, Audible is basically free because they give you a lot of credits.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start listening to some books because I listen to podcasts a lot now. And
Libby has every book on audio that you can rent for free from the library.
All right. Well, I'm just jumping on board now. Here I am. Okay. I'm rucking and I'm listening to books.
Okay. Audiobook that I am in the middle of listening to is called Not My Type. Speaking of like badass older women that are kind of inspiring us lately, I kind of went on this thing of like these older women. Venus not that she's even old, she's my age.
Yeah.
But just to be an elite athlete at
right.
45, incredible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this one is E. Jean Carroll,
Okay.
who sued Trump for sexual harassment in the Bergdorf's dressing room. I'm sure you remember this case.
I do.
I don't want to get into all the specifics, but just hearing her story in her own voice is completely interesting. So I've been enjoying listening to that.
Okay. Well, I'm here for it. I'm going to start listening to some books and then give some recs as we the upcoming podcast. The
you
next
listen to
content.
podcasts though, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I listen to podcasts and I'll do it while I'm working or while I'm doing some of them on day marketing
I love
things,
podcasts
driving. So I think it could be an easy switch. And
any new pods that you're checking out?
Well, yes, I have one. And I don't know. I follow both of these individuals. They're married on Instagram.
Okay.
But their names are Alexandra, and John. And they have a podcast called Give It To Me Straight.
Okay.
They're kind of the couples that do funny reels together that aren't cringe to me. They're pretty enjoyable. And Kat Stickler, I think, is the cousin of John. And she's also a big influencer that you might follow. And they kind of do.
I know who you're talking about now.
They do like reels together and content
She's
together.
a brunette, kind of straight brunette hair.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're likable and they do share their life.
They had a bunch of funny.
Super funny. Not cringe or like, what's that? It's actually very funny. I find them relatable. And, they just recently they lost a pregnancy, then they got pregnant again, and they've kind of shared their journey, but in a really nice way. And it was very relatable and sweet. And you're just rooting for them as people. And so they have a podcast, and I find them to be very funny. So that's a new one.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's lighthearted. They got good banter. We love good banter.
Love a banter.
So check it out.
The only other one, other than the Jane Fonda one that I've spent some time with, is
which I haven't done, by the way. So I'm definitely going to listen to the Jane Fonda one.
And you can pick through them and say like which people she interviews kind of interest you. Those are kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah.
But she's great. And then Kylie Kelsey's podcast I went back to.
Yeah, I dabble in it on occasion. I like her a lot as a person, and her takes on things a lot of times are something I'm like, yep, I agree.
She's just feels like a friend of ours. Maybe I think everybody feels like this about her.
Yeah.
But it's just easy to have on if I have a long drive and I don't want to listen to an audiobook and I just kind of want to hear a friend talk. She's one that can kind of check that box for me.
Yep, I agree. I like hers a lot.
Yeah, so I kind of have gone back. Not Gonna Lie is her podcast that I go back to from time to time.
Yeah, I like to dabble in all those.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Well, the only other thing is I have a song that I'm obsessed with that I've said before. I think it's not too new. It's like 2 months out or something.
Is it from 2018?
From 2018. It's from 2025, but a couple months ago. But Justin Bieber dropped a new album this year. And Daisies is his song that I'm obsessed with.
Oh, yeah. My kids have that on their playlist.
It's kind of everywhere now. But it is, I just really like to give it a call out because it is just a good feeling song. And I like to listen to it. I've used it for some content, but I also just like to listen to it in the car. And now Ace always requested as his song. So anyways, we're liking it.
I'm deep in K-pop Demon Hunter X soundtrack over here.
Welcome. I told you would be.
I know. Some of them are too teen angsty for me personally, and then some of them I find myself going up. It's like I'm right there on a few of them.
They're so good. We're still in it. We still listen to it. It's just it hits.
It was cute. Yesterday, I'm driving Grace out to the orthodontist, but she was like, "Should we make a mom and daughter playlist?" And then it was so cute. And then she's like, "Should we put this on there? Should we put this on there?" And I was like, "Put it on there. Put it on there." It's basically like Cal complains when we listen to too much Taylor Swift or Meghan Trainor or some of these. Yeah. So we kind of had to put like all of our female girly songs on there. Yeah. We like it.
I like those playlists. We made individual playlists for each of the kids. But what usually happens is we go around. Ace gets to pick a song, Lily gets to pick a song, Lola gets to pick a song, repeat. And if they don't pick the same song, I'm shocked. So we have 3 songs that we play often, and then we switch those 3 songs to something different. We need a better system. Maybe we'll try a family playlist to just go through all of them, because it's like, I love the songs they choose. They actually all are into a good song, but just repeat.
I know. Well, in the young age, they love to repeat songs.
I know.
Like, all right, enough.
I know.
All right, let's move into
Tech tip. What do you got for us today?
Well, I read an article that Jonathan Haidt had published in The Atlantic recently, re-emphasizing the child-led play. And it reminded me, we have this in our guidebook, but there was a new survey that basically kids are screaming, like, we want more unsupervised child-led play, not just sports, but like unsupervised time. So I just wanted to kind of spend 1 second being like, child-led play is just play dates or neighbors over or them playing with siblings. You can even be around, but you're not guiding the activity. And I do think sometimes we're used to just saying, okay, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you do this? And like part of the gift of child-led play is like they pick what they do. They have to actually think and come up with it. And, you know, even if it's dumb, like who cares? Let them do it. Like that's the whole point. And the more unsupervised, the better, of course, depending on the kid's age. But just wanted to reemphasize that. I think it's so healthy. And I think the article that he wrote was called How to Get Kids Off Their Phones and what they're telling us. And they did this big survey and it's like, kids are craving this. Yeah. Kids are craving this. And that was very clear from the data.
Well, and I think it's important when it's super like younger, when they're super little, they can still be creative and do their own play when you're sitting in the room, but not necessarily playing with them. Let them have independent play. As they get older, they can be unsupervised in a different room, but doing their own idea and own creative play. And when they're older, get them off the phones and just put them outside. Let them do things outside with themselves, even if it's just playing basketball or whatever it is. Just let them go outside and be able to do physical activity, which seems so simple, but it's just not happening.
If they're not sporty, it could be creative stuff, 100%. You know, but like their boredom will lead them to start sewing or drawing or creating a cartoon or a book or like, you know what I mean? Like it could be a creative pursuit. It could be an outdoor pursuit. It could be honestly just going for a walk.
100%. And you know, I have seen like, again, it goes back to tech, which I say against it, but I have seen some really cute videos that like neighbors are making where they're creating, like actually working to do a movie and they're clipping. And so they're going out and doing content, but then they're clipping it and editing it. I think that sounds healthy too. And our kids have been super into painting rocks. So the complete opposite. And I can't tell you, it doesn't matter what age, they're all into it. And they'll all go out there and spend a very good amount of time. And we have like a whole area with rocks. And now they're all starting to get colored. And I love it. It's like we have a lot of rocks out there that are colored, but it's so cute. And I kind of think about it in the same way as like behind the door when we're marking their height. That is a very cute part of the house that I'm obsessed with now, that like, if we ever move, I want to take all those rocks, they're just the sweetest. It makes it homey.
I like that. Maybe we need to paint more rocks. I like that.
And we just brought it back like a month ago and they're crushing it.
Now I don't want to push it. I don't want to supervise it. They got to pick it, but I'll get all the supplies and make it available.
I love it.
Okay, let's move into obsessions. What do you got for us today?
So my obsession is a supplement, kind of. It's those salt packs, the Elements. Have you seen those?
Oh, yeah. You just kind of put it in a water?
Exactly. And so it's like LMNT or whatever, Element. But basically they're different flavors. You don't need a lot of the packet either. So we will buy a pack and then like with it, like the packet we open up, we'll share with like our whole family. But when it's hot out, when the kids are doing a lot of sports, I hate Gatorades now. Like they just like, they're not great for you. But sometimes those, like a lot of times the kids need electrolytes and stuff. And so I feel like it's a great way to do that. And I've been very exhausted. We've kind of been talking about on the podcast, a lot going on with the business, a lot going on with the kids, just exhausted. And they've been really helping me. So like a little one in the afternoon, I've been getting headaches and it's kind of eliminated that because I forget to drink too much water when I'm busy. And
dehydrated.
And so it like just helps replenish me. And even if it's part placebo effect, I love it.
I haven't done these too much. There's like a different electrolyte tube I've tried at one point, but I like the idea of this. And I do feel like sometimes like after a good sweat or something, it's like, I need that salt back in. So I'm going to try these. Do you just buy them off Amazon or whatever?
Yep. You can buy them online. They come in a big packet. And again, even the packet itself, like the small individual packet, you can share. Like you don't need the whole thing because it is kind of a strong taste. So I will say A little bit goes a long way, but it's been helping our family.
And the kids, I assume, like it if you put it in their water bottle for soccer practice or something.
100%. So we've been doing that as a fun little thing for them. And if it's a flavor they like and choose and you do the right amount, it's perfect. So,
okay, cool. I'll try.
What about you? What's your obsession?
Any flavors that are ones we should try first?
Honestly, we have lemon and watermelon that tend to be the favorite in our house, but again, very little amount of watermelon needed. You can overdo the watermelon, but
watermelon flavor. Ew, but
I know, but our kids are liking it. They really like it.
Okay, you're right.
So,
all right,
test it out. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. My obsession this week. I love to do the New York Times puzzles in the morning, like the nerd that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And they added a new game called Pips, which is a little dominoes game.
Okay.
My whole family is obsessed. My whole family. My kids now fight me for it because it's a once a day game. This is what I love about the New York Times puzzles is it's once a day and then you can't do it again until the next day. That's what I'm talking about in terms of like.
Now, is it like Wordle? It's on your phone?
It's like Wordle. It's once a day. Everybody has the same puzzle. You do it once a day. There's 3 levels though. There's easy, medium, and hard.
Okay.
But my kids basically won't let me do the Pips because they want to do the Pips. Okay. And it's cute. It's like we start our day now over breakfast with them, waking up their brain with a little New York Times Pips. And I think it's adorable.
I love that. All right. We'll definitely do it because I don't Wordle, but my family Wordles, but it would be cute to get the kids involved with Pips. Sounds
fun. I'm
nice.
Freaking impressed by my kids' ability to do these hard Pips. Like, I don't know. They're smarter than you think.
Yeah. Always are.
It's cool. Always are.
Love
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. We got much to do, but fun catch up. I got some new shows to try and some new packets of salt to try, and I'm excited we caught up.
I know. Same. Love it. Lilas.
Right. Lilas Tan. Bye.